Welcome to Menti Breaky
Breaky
Epi
Epi
22.
22.
Oh, that's such a cute
so
one.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're applying for a grant
Wow, right into it.
for Menti Breaky.
Yeah.
Because we want to grow this bitch out, and I had to put like the revenue and expenses that we expect.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like putting the expenses, like that's easy, and then I was like, oh yeah, revenue. What's that? As a CPA, what's that?
Yeah, that's why we're
Yeah.
applying for a grant because we don't have any revenue.
I know. I don't know how people, like we were talking, like I don't know how people do this.
Yeah.
Like it's very hard. We do a lot here on the Menti Breaky team.
Yeah.
We don't have any help.
No.
But I think we're going to outsource to some guy in a foreign country to make clips.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
and, Like the
crossed.
internet is reading my messages to people now because now I'm getting like targeted ads for like making clips.
Oh,
and stuff.
really?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I guess they're looking at my DMs
That's
on
funny.
Instagram.
I got an Instagram ad and it was like, it didn't say this, but it was like, are you terrible at making clips?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
literally those are the ads I'm getting.
It was
They're
like,
are you a fucking moron? Can you not even figure out how to put a font on? And I'm like, yeah. And then like I literally will just watch the ad. I'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what do you? Because I skipped it. I'm like, this is stupid. And then I'm like, oh, I want to go back because that's actually
You're like, not
me.
for me. And then you're like, a little bit for me.
Yeah, you can't really go back to ads on Instagram if it's in your stories and then you're flipping through.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you guys want to sponsor Menti Breaky, just e-transfer us money.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's the first thing on our agenda for this one?
Well, do you want to
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, in one of my solo episodes, which I've archived because now we're just doing Monty and Hanny and Menti Breaky, I was talking about this guy who fanzoned me, which means that we matched on, I think, Bumble or something. And he was like, hey, I follow you on social media. I love all your stuff. And I was like, thanks. Like, you know, do you want to date? Exactly. Like, we're on Bumble. We're not. And then he ghosted me.
Yeah.
And then I posted a clip of my solo episode saying this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and even on Bumble, he posted being like, you come up on my Explore page. Like, he sent me a picture of me on his Explore page. And then he ghosted me. So I was like, how can you ghost me when I'm on your Explore page? Like, where are you going? So I posted that clip of me saying that then on my Instagram, and he responded to that. He's like, this came up on my Explore page.
You're like, yeah, it's about you. Like, what are you not getting?
He was like, it's wild for me. It was wild for me to have gone on my Explore page and see a video about me.
Oh,
and I was like,
funny.
well, then you shouldn't have ghosted.
Mm.
So then he sent me a paragraph about why he can't commit. So that was fun.
God, I hate. What a classic paragraph from a man on Bumble.
Bro, I didn't ask, you know?
Oh my God. Because I'll just be like, where did you go? And they're like, well, I'm actually. And then they give you a whole thing. And you're like, why are you here?
But I'm also like, it's not like I said anything when he ghosted, right? Like, I just was like, okay.
Well,
and
I mean,
then
you did make multiple like clips about him.
One clip.
Okay.
This will be number 2.
Okay. Like, I didn't even say anything.
Makes a whole Instagram.
Goes viral with a clip. I don't get why he sent me a paragraph. He's like, can I defend myself?
I'm like, no.
No.
So then he sends me this whole paragraph about like why he can't commit. And I'm like, cool, like it's all good, like whatever. And then he's like, our first date should be like me coming to a comedy show. And I was like, okay, like you just said you like, can't commit. But we're like kind of talking. And then he's like, because he's from like a few hours out of Toronto. And he's like, should I come to Toronto next weekend or like something like that? Or because I was like, no, I was actually being toxic. I was like, I was in a bad mood. And I was like, do you ever like come to Toronto? And he was like, sometimes, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, maybe I'll make plans.
Where are you matching with men?
Oh, far distance.
Monica.
Look, I'm getting older. As I get older, the kilometers go further.
How far away are we talking?
Like
what's your furthest match?
New York.
No, but you were in New York.
No, but now
You're still matching with men in New York.
it's like 50 miles,
Oh, like upstate New York.
kilometers. Yeah, upstate New York.
Like Buffalo?
Yeah. Like
Oh
Michigan.
my god, I'm dead.
So this guy, he lives in Canada,
Oh, good.
but like 2 hours drive. I go there
Okay.
sometimes for comedy though.
Okay, I'm imagining a city in my head.
Yeah, so I might have gone there for comedy and I might have matched with him like while I was there. Like I don't really remember. So anyways, we're like talking and then he goes, "I can't wait to hear about this interaction on the next podcast." So here it is, baby.
Yeah.
My
Move to Toronto, date Monica.
My parasocial, that's what they call it, parasocial relationships.
Oh, where you just make clips about each other?
Where you're in relationships or you talk to people that like you never actually meet, like on the internet and stuff. So you're like,
cute.
I'm never gonna meet them.
Yeah.
Anyways, he never came to Toronto. But then what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so he was like, can't wait to like see a clip about myself.
You got it.
We aim to please our mentee Reiki queens.
I want to see a picture of this guy.
Yeah. But yeah, so but also, you know what I think?
Mm.
If a guy ghosts you and then he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for ghosting you.
Yeah.
Like I've changed, like I want to hang out." It's never going to happen. Like if he ghosts you on round 1 of interactions, you have to expect that for every other round. IMO. You don't think so?
I don't know.
Like, have you ever been with a guy who, like, he ghosted or whatever on round 1 and then was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for ghosting," and then comes back around and it actually works?
No, I guess not. Like, normally if they're coming back around, they're just trying to get laid.
Right.
And then they're like, okay, bye again.
Yeah.
But I don't really have a lot of experience with that. I'm trying to think of, like, friends
I don't really have a
relationships.
lot of experience with
No,
ghosting.
and, like, I fuck my friends.
Right.
So I've had friends try and ghost me.
Right. But, like,
And
where are
I'm
they
like,
going?
Exactly. I'm like, nice
right
try.
here. Well, that's like this guy. I'm like, you can try and ghost me, but then a video of you ghosting me is going to come up on your all media.
Yeah. You're like, I'm back.
I'm back,
You
baby.
can't get rid of me.
You thought I was gone? You thought you closed Bumble and I was gone? I'm right here.
Yeah. Okay, well, I hope everything works out with you two.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture after. It's working out really well.
Good.
He's one of my boyfriends.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, one of my boyfriends that doesn't know he's my boyfriend. I think I have 3 now.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm sure one of them knows.
4.
Okay. You're just collecting more as we speak.
Yeah.
You're like, it's up to 6.
Wait, you think one of my boyfriends knows they're my boyfriend?
Yeah. Because you've expressed as much, in my opinion.
Well, I'm gonna cut that out.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So that's my fan zone story.
Okay.
Thanks.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
I love it. Monica, keep matching with men and getting us more fans.
Yeah. I'll increase engagement. You can ghost me on Bumble as long as you
I
follow.
know, that's the same thing. Like, I might block you.
Right.
Don't stop listening.
Don't stop listening. Look, ghost me, but subscribe.
Exactly. If I'm going through something, just hang in there.
Yeah.
We need the listener. Oh God. Okay. I did a dumb thing. This isn't even like well, we can actually talk about my surgery because
Okay.
this is more meant to be. So I had surgery. I'm gonna show it because it's the first day I have it out.
Oh.
So the fans can see.
Whoa. Oh, that
How
wasn't
dare you?
there.
But all the redness is just an allergic reaction I get to Band-Aids.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and they're like hypoallergenic, latex-free. Lie. Stop lying.
Do you want to
Band-Aid.
explain to the people what the surgery was regarding?
Yeah, so it was, I just had a lump like growing on me for like years. And eventually I was like, I should probably get this looked at. Cause I just assumed it was like a cyst, but it was purple. And then everyone was like a little bit concerned. So then they weren't sure what it was. And they were like, well, it could be a lymph node. It could be a cyst. So we're just going to remove it. And the surgeon that removed it, he was nice in the sense that he's like, I'm going to call it a lymph node so you don't have to pay, because in Canada you have to pay for like so many different types. But if it's like maybe cancer, they're like, you get it for free. So I was like, oh, that's so nice of him. And he put the freezing in to do this surgery, and just immediately started cutting me open, and I could feel everything. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I guess this is just, I've never had like freezing like this before. Like, I've been awake for my like wisdom teeth extraction, but I didn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
I was on gas, I was on freezing.
Yeah.
I could feel it, but there was no pain.
Right.
This, I was like, is this what daytime like awake surgery feels like? Like, I felt everything. I was like, that's a cut. It felt horrible.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Did you say anything?
He kept asking, can you feel this? And I was like, yes. It feels.
And then he just kept going?
Yep. And then I was like, okay.
Wait,
like,
what would he say? He would be like, can you feel this? And you said yes. And then he'd be like,
What?
okay.
Yeah. And I think like maybe it was like too late to stop, because like he had started. So I was like, oh, we're just going for it. Like, nothing, the freezing did not work at all. So then he started stitching me up, and it was so painful. I started like crying. Like, I wasn't even trying. I was like trying not to, but like I was just crying. So I like wiped away a tear, and he's like, is this really bad? And I was like, yeah. Like, this is I'm in war right now. I'm a soldier on the front line who's just like had my leg blown off, and now you're like patching me up, doc. So then he's like, oh, I think it's just that side, which I'm like, okay. So he switches his technique. Like, then he decides he wants to use a smaller thread. It feels a little bit better, but I can still feel it. And then he goes to redo the first stitch. He pulls on it, and I don't feel anything. And he goes, did you feel that? And I was like, no. He goes, oh, the freezing just started working. Could we not have waited? Is there not a test to be like, has the freezing started?
What's the point of freezing if it froze at the end?
You would love to know. Would love to know. And I was like, okay. And then he's just like, peace, and left. And then I was just like with the nurse. Is this now? Am I being like too like?
No, I'm just confused, because here's the thing. Like, maybe it's like, I don't know, fucking like suck it up. But my whole question is like, then what's the point of the freezing?
Truly, we could have not used it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I hate that for you.
It was, and I am like, I feel like I'm like, there is like still some trauma there, because I'm like, I remember like with other things, I have like massive scars all over me. I don't remember the pain, because it was so like traumatic when I was a little kid. I'm like, I remember this pain.
Yeah.
I can feel it right now. I'm like, I don't want that.
No.
Anyways, but
I
then
can
I'm like,
feel
is
the
this
pain.
a woman thing? Like, like, am I not like if I was a guy, would I be like, what the fuck, and like have an argument? And
Yeah.
do I just accept this because I'm a woman?
I don't know.
Because they're always like, women in healthcare, we get overlooked and not believed and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I got a whole fucking operation with no freezing. And I was just like, oh, okay.
It's like, I just kind of wonder what I would do in that situation.
Yeah,
like, I
but
think
you usually speak up for yourself.
Yes, exactly. So I think I would speak up and be like, hey, I can really feel this. I don't think the freezing has settled in. Like, can we either go slower or can we stop? But you don't really speak up for yourself.
Literally never speak up for myself. Not
Why
my
do you think
style. I don't know. I'm like scared of confrontation for sure. I'm scared of upsetting people.
You know what's so interesting? I feel like when people first meet us, like both of us, they probably look at us and they think like you're the bigger cunt. Like, I think that's what people think.
I think people get that from me a lot. They're like, oh, you're so confident, you're so this. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I literally let people walk all over me.
But then I think as people get to know us, they're like, oh, Monica's the bigger cunt.
You're like, you're the one that will go in and say, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, I actually didn't want this salsa on my taco.
Well, here's the thing too, is like, we've put such a negative connotation on a Karen that no woman even like wants to say anything anymore.
That's also another thing too. Like, heaven forbid you say anything at all.
You're Karen.
You're like, or literally they'll be like, she's such a bitch.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, actually, I just didn't have any freezing for this operation.
Exactly. So I think
Yeah.
I've just gotten over that.
That's good. That's a good place
Well, I was
to
also
be.
raised by a mom who just like also didn't give a
Oh,
fuck.
you got it from your. Oh, well, I got it from my mom.
Right.
Lets the world walk all over her.
Right,
And
yeah.
she's like so sweet and caring, but then
Right.
at the same time,
Yeah.
like, well, it's such a pushover. And I'm like, well, no wonder. But you have like a joke too about like everyone tells me I have strong boundaries and
Oh yeah, I wrote that from you.
Yeah.
Like cuz
Yeah.
Hannah the other week she goes Monica, you have really strong
Yeah.
boundaries and you really stick to them, and I was like, okay, I is that like a compliment? It's both.
it's both.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
But it's like at the end of the day, because even like we've had issues where I'm like, this would have been like so much easier if you just like confronted me, you know?
Yeah, like I don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think your instinct is to like confront, and mine is to like, I'll just hide everything and be like, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I guess we both learned from our mothers.
Yeah, but then we work together.
Yeah, we have to like both you know, meet in the middle.
Communicate.
Oh, beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's like how we were talking about a few episodes ago of how like we're opposites.
Yeah.
But because we love each other, we fight for our friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, I like being out with you because you'll immediately address someone who's who's trying to give us something we didn't order.
Yeah, like if someone fucks with you, like they'll be done.
Yeah.
Whereas like if someone were to look at us, they would think that like but we both do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
but
fought for me too.
Of course.
Yeah.
I actually have a much easier time fighting for other people than myself.
Right.
I really don't mind being a bitch when it comes to like someone on someone else's behalf, but on myself, I'm like, no, I'll just accept anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if like someone maybe gave us Brussels sprouts like way after we had finished our meal.
Yeah, that's not okay.
And that happened.
Yeah, we're done the meal. We don't want this anymore.
Take it off the bill.
And Hannah's like, no, it's fine.
Oh my God.
We'll eat it.
And I'm like, I'll just eat it. I'm
Okay,
stuffed.
I didn't say take it off the bill. I'll address people. I'll be like, hey,
no, but you were every instinct you had was right. They
Yeah.
were fucking with us.
well, I was just like, hey, like this arrived really late. Like, is there anything we can do? And if they say like, no, we're going to charge you. I'm like, okay, well, I'll leave a bad review. Have
Good.
fun. Oh, should I talk about that laser hair removal party that I went to?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so glad I didn't go.
I'm so glad. Okay. I go to this laser hair removal place.
But it was really sold as like the unmissable event of the
Oh,
century.
I knew it was missable. I knew it was. I just wanted $500. So
Yeah.
I go to this place and they do my laser hair removal, but they also do like Botox and like fat freezing, like all, you know. So it's a lot of like older women like doing this stuff. And they always send me these like promos. They're like, do this and get this. And I just like ignore them. I'm like, leave me alone. But this one, they were like, come to this party and you'll get $500 like off a future service. And I was like, well, that's good because I have to sign up for like a laser hair removal thing that's going to cost around that. So fine, I'll go to this fucking event. Like maybe there will be food. No food. I go.
That's crazy.
It was insane. There was
To have no food at an event.
there were 2 cannolis and a plate of rice.
What?
Don't know. I don't know. Anyways,
That's upsetting.
so it's at a mansion in Woodbridge. This like it's like the owner's house of this like laser hair removal Botox.
Oh my God, I didn't know it
place.
was their house.
I think it was it was their house.
What?
And so we go, or I go alone, thank God. And there's like valet parking because like it's like a mansion or whatever. So like there goes my car and now I'm trapped and it's a white party. So I had to like dress up and I'm alone at this laser hair removal mansion, just like in a white dress, like and waiting for my $500. And then they had like free services if you went. So there was like free Botox.
Were
and
you
stuff.
watching people get Botox?
Yeah, but I couldn't watch.
Mm.
Like, I don't want to watch a needle go into this woman's face. And one woman had, like, a bandage on her nose.
What? Oh, she got filler.
Yeah, she got filler in her nose.
Crazy.
So they were just, like, doing services
Mm-hmm.
in this mansion. It felt very horror movie.
I also I'm like so picky about my filler.
Yeah.
Like I don't get a lot.
Yeah.
And I pay a shit ton for it.
Yeah.
I pay like double what most people pay because there's like one person in Toronto I trust.
Yeah.
And I've just seen like so much botched filler.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, you can just dissolve it." No.
Yeah.
Your face is stretched forever, honey.
Well, you just do lip, right?
I've just done lips. I have toyed with the idea because my face is so uneven of maybe doing it other places, but I haven't yet. But I would still only go to this one person. And I've been to other people because the first time I booked with her, and then I got there. And they're like, okay, so-and-so's going to see you. I'm like, oh, that's not who I booked with. And they're like, okay, well, that's who you're with. And I was like, oh, didn't say anything. I'm like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. Was horrible. Did
Really?
a horrible job. And the next time I went, I got the girl I wanted. And she was like looking at the work, basically being like, this is shit.
Oh, my God.
And she was like, yeah, she no longer works here. I was like, well,
Great.
your team set me up for failure there.
Yeah.
So the fact that people are just like showing up to a party and being like, put filler in my face is like, oh, that's how you end up looking botched. Yeah. Like that's just, you can't just go to a party and get filler. You do your research.
Yeah.
Find the person that, does a good job.
Yeah. Anyways, there was just like a row of chairs and like a row of women just like getting, and then
insane.
A plate of
Botox,
rice.
I think, is like a bit easier. It's just fucking freezing your face.
Yeah. Maybe it was just that. I don't know what it was.
Well, no, if there's bandages, I assume it was probably filler.
No, it was like one. I don't fucking know. Anyways, so I go and I'm like, hi there. Like, I'm here for my $500. Like, that's why I came to this mansion in Woodbridge.
And a plate of rice.
And it was just like really sketchy horror movie. There was like a weird like horse statue in the front.
Very eyes wide shut.
Yeah, it was really scary.
How fun.
So I went up to someone who worked there and I'm like, hi, like, I'm here for my $500. And she was like, oh, we're actually all out of the certificates. And I was like, no. I was told, and like, I was like.
You pulled out a boundary.
I was calm, but I was like, I'll kill you. Those were my eyes. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, I was actually told that if I came here to this party, I would receive $500. So I'd actually like the $500, please. And she was like, okay, let me ask someone. And so she asked someone, and the girl that she asked, like, looked at me and, like, didn't give a fuck because I was, like, death glaring. And then she comes back to me, and she's like, yeah, we don't have any left. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, I'll ask someone else. And then she, like, went to, like, her supervisor or whatever, and her supervisor looked at my face and was like, okay, we will make and they somehow magically pulled up a $500 coupon.
Huh. I wonder where that was.
Whereas Hannah, you would be like, oh, okay.
I would just be like, oh, you ruined my day. And I'd be so angry.
Yeah. No, but I was like, and then I didn't tell you this part. I got an email after being like, thanks for attending our event. Like, claim your $500 now or whatever it was. And then it was like, didn't come to the event, still get your $500.
What was this bullshit?
It was a lot.
That's upsetting.
If we ever start a Patreon, I'll post some of the pictures from the event. It was scary.
Lackluster.
Well.
No food is crazy.
Statue horse.
Ugh.
I think though they were setting up because there was going to be an after party, and I was like, who the fuck is coming to a laser hair removal after party?
Who are these people? What are their days?
Just doing Botox. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true. And then they go to my work for massage.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, yeah.
I was like, I'm just trying to get my fucking hair removed. Anyways, back to your point. Is it just women and women pain? I mean, like, there's that whole thing about, like, egg freezing or, like, putting in an IUD where everyone's like, they should have freezing and things like that. And they don't because it's, like, with regards to, like, women's health. But, like, I don't know, like, what the balance is because it's, like, I guess there's, like, certain women who will speak up for themselves, but I think the problem is even the ones who do,
then you're like, you're a bitch, you're
like,
a
I don't
liar.
care. Like, for me, it's like if someone calls me a bitch and a liar and annoying, like, I'll survive. Like, just fucking freeze my vagina before you put in an IUD. But yeah, like, I guess it's like, yeah, even women who speak up and don't care about being called a bitch are still not listened to.
Yeah, this is a very serious podcast this time.
Oh, yeah. Hannah's like, I'm just going to talk about my surgery.
Yeah, but it's like that is kind of like how I was feeling after. And just like in general lately, like with my whole ulcer thing.
Right.
Where I had a fucking hole in my throat from the medication I was taking. I was literally going to every doctor and they're like, you need to change your diet. And I was like, I'm not eating.
Yeah.
I'm like, there is no diet. And they're like, change your diet.
Yeah.
And like just wasn't listened to. They were looking at my medication being like, yep, on your way. And then it was a woman doctor who was like, yeah, this is giving you an ulcer.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
I think it's a mix of like doctors not knowing / women / healthcare
I think
in
so
general.
too.
Like,
I think it's a
lot.
mix.
Yeah.
Because like men also just are
stupid.
Well, they're stupid, but they are just like they don't stop.
Right.
When they're like, I have a problem.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to stop bringing it up until the whole world knows about it.
Yeah.
And women were like, I'll keep it to myself.
Yeah.
I'll just keep that on the inside.
Yeah, no, we can't do that.
No.
If you have an ulcer and you're a woman.
If a man has a cold, it's like a national news event.
Crisis.
Like, truly.
So if you're a woman and you have an ulcer, make a fuss.
Yeah. Go ahead and on behalf of Menti Breaky, make a fuss.
And
if you've gone to a white party in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they say there's no $500 gift certificates left.
Make a fuss.
Make a fuss.
Look, if you're having a problem making a fuss.
If you're in surgery and you can feel everything.
If you're in surgery and you can feel everything, say, excuse me, I have to call Menti Breaky. Call me. Yeah. Don't call Hannah.
No, I'll be like, oh, that sucks.
Call me and I'll talk to your doctor for you and say, excuse me. This Menti Breaky fan can feel you removing their lump.
Yeah.
Please stop. Please stop until the freezing kicks in. And then the doctor is going to stop.
Yeah. He might be a fan.
He probably is.
He might become a fan.
Okay, and now on a lighter note of men not believing women.
Yeah, a much lighter note.
Okay, so this is like one of my favorite stories ever.
Yeah, you just told it to me the other day, and I was like, this is delightful.
It's a really delightful I think it's a good time to have this story after we literally just...
Yeah, after we were very serious.
Dug up the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. Ugh, God, that. But now the fans have a solution. They can call Monica if they're in surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, a few years ago, my mom is driving down the street, minding her own business. And I get a phone call, and she's like, Monica, I just saw the weirdest animal. Like, it didn't have a tail. It was, like, big. Like, I don't... And I'm like, okay, like, cool, right? And, like, I just...
Great story, Mom.
Like, great story, Mom. Hang up the phone. And then... A few hours later, we put on the news, and across the news, it's like 2 capyberas got loose or like escaped the zoo.
Mm-hmm.
My mom loses her shit. Like, absolutely, she called Monica. That's the animal that I saw. That's the capybara. I saw that, and I'm like, cool, Mom.
This was a national event.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because when it happened, it was 2 females.
Yeah.
And people were calling them Thelma and Louise. And people, like, that night at trivia, everyone's trivia name, I used to go to this massive trivia one, everyone's trivia name was something to do with a capybara. Like, everyone had to, like, mention it. It was like, it took the city by storm.
It really took the city by storm.
I would say province. The whole province was, like, tuning in to be like, where did they go?
So
because also capybaras, not native to Ontario.
Right.
So, like, heaven forbid they get out.
Right. So my mom's, like, losing her fucking shit. She's calling every news outlet.
I love that.
She's calling the police. Like, she's
the police
calling.
Is hilarious.
She's calling 311. That's like the number for like Ontario.
Who else do I call?
So she gets through to like, I don't know, CP24, and she goes, I saw the capyberas. She says, I saw them like in Markham or like somewhere.
Love that she saw them together too.
Yeah,
that they
she's
truly
like,
were on the run.
Yeah, they were on the run.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we're so sorry, man. Like, the capybaras would not be in Markham. Like, that's just like way too far from the zoo. Like, there's no way. My mom's like, actually, I've never seen her lose her. Like, she's like, Monica, I wish I got a fucking picture of the capybaras. Like, I saw the capybaras, right?
But it's also like it's so believable because she didn't even know what they were.
She had no idea. She was like,
just
what
like,
is
what
that?
is with this weird looking beaver, right?
Yeah.
Like what
huge,
is
no
this?
tail.
Yeah.
And she messaged me.
Because it is also hilarious to like not know they've escaped because it's an Australian native animal. So to just see them, you'd be like, what the fuck am I looking at right now? Like if you were just driving, you'd be like, okay.
And like all
new woodland creature that I cannot identify. Like what? Just like drive and then call your daughter and be like, I don't know what I saw today.
And it's like I couldn't give less of a fuck.
Yeah, you're like, cool.
I'm like, cool, mom. And she's like freaking out about how like she wishes she like took a picture and like just no one's believing her. Like she keeps calling news outlets. She's like calling the police. Like she's like, I found the capybaras. Like I don't know if
because
it was Markham,
they were
but
being
somewhere.
like, if you see them, tell us.
Yeah. So my
they
mom
were like,
was telling them.
We have to find these guys. She's like, hey.
She's like, hey, like I found them. And they're like, no. And like no one, literally next day it comes out like capybaras found in Markham.
Yeah, like wherever she saw them, they were like right around there.
Lost her goddamn mind.
Of course.
Like, so, and then
she was made to be a fool.
She was made to be a fool, and she saw the capybaras. And like to this, okay, so I don't know if capybaras were big before that, but like I feel like after that, maybe I was taking notice of them, but like they blew up. There's like a capybara hotel somewhere in the world where you can go and like hang out with capybaras.
Well, it's probably Australia. I think they're like a rodent in Australia.
Well, I went to the zoo in Australia when I was there, and they have a whole like capybara section.
That's so funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
because
like
you can also
huge.
just like hit them on the road. You can also just drive until you hit one.
Really?
Yeah,
I think they've raised in popularity. Like it's like a panda thing. Like people like think they're cool.
Oh, maybe because like they have a whole thing. They'll like hang out on like football fields and stuff, or like on the road. They'll like sunbathe and shit like that.
I actually went to Argentina because I have some cousins in Argentina, and one of my cousins' phone backgrounds was a capybara, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, I just like them. Anyways, so like to this day,
I wonder if that was if there was a correlation, or like maybe capybaras just like had their moment in like 2018.
Yeah, I don't know, but like to this day, I'll send my mom like capybara, like if I see like a post about a capybara on like Instagram or something, and she'll be like, I found them. Like,
oh, I love that.
No, it was like she was so impassioned. Like that was the funniest part. Was just she's like, I saw the fucking capybaras, and she's like, I should have taken a picture, and she's calling the news outlets.
Yeah,
so funny.
Man, that must be good luck seeing those two.
I'm sure
she probably got good luck from that. Yeah, I once found a getaway car. I told you
right.
It was I was delivering papers, and I walked past. I would always like see, because you know who sees everything? The paper person. I would see everything because you're invisible to everyone.
Right.
But I would catch all the drama.
Yeah.
Fights, lovers, whatever. So I was like doing my papers, and there was a car, and it had a smashed window, and I was like, oh, sucks for them. But then I was like, oh, that's weird. There's like a $20 bill on the seat. And I was like, oh, that's weird. There's actually like a couple bills on the seat. And I was like, kept walking, and it was also parked because I would always tell people like whatever the drama was, I'm like, oh, your dog's out, your kid's dead, whatever. I'd like go knock on the door and be like, hey, but it was in between a place where I'm like, oh, there's no house that I would be able to tell, and it's like, oh well. So I went home, I told my dad, and he's like, I think that's like, you should report that. So he reported it, and they're like, we don't care. Like that, I had to talk to the police,
that's
and they
what
were just
my mom
like,
said about the capybaras. They were like, we don't care.
They're like, Kate, that's a nice little girl.
Yeah.
You saw a smashed up car with money in it.
Yeah.
Police call back like whatever days later, and they're like, yeah, so it turns out that was the getaway car in a bank robbery. And yeah, good job. No other shit's given on behalf of the police. I'm like,
yeah,
thanks.
What does a getaway car like entail?
It was stolen. So it would be they stole a car to rob a bank. Yeah. So, and that's why it would be smashed up.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. No fucks given on behalf of the
given
police.
on behalf of the capybaras.
If you find a getaway car capybaras, like honestly, don't even bother calling the police at this point.
Just be like, oh, that's nice.
They don't care.
If you see someone like, murdering in broad daylight,
Don't bring it up.
Don't bring
Keep
it up.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. And on that note,
Oh.
was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, so your mom is kind of our menty breaky queen.
Yeah, my mom's our menchie breaky queen. She'll like that for herself. She still gets really rattled.
Because she should get something out of that.
Something out of that, which is her being the queen of this week.
And that she's still rattled by capyberas.
She's going to listen to this episode and be like, I saw the capyberas! She doesn't talk like that. She's going to be mad that I impersonated her like that. But she's going to be like, I saw the capyberas. That's a nicer
Would she do
way.
all caps or exclamation marks?
She would just be, not all caps, exclamations, and just like, I saw them. Like, what?
I know.
Yeah.
It makes you feel crazy.
It does, because you're like, I remember her texting me that day being like, I saw these two weird fucking things roaming the streets.
Justice for Monica's mom.
Justice for my mom and the capybara sightings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love you.
If you guys have ever seen anything crazy happen.
Oh, yeah. If you've ever not been believed and you're a woman.
Yeah. If
Actually, that's a good story prompt.
That's
what's the time you haven't been believed? Unless it's like rape.
Yeah. I'm like, that
Don't bring the mood down.
We're in therapy. We're not therapists.
No, what if it's something fun, like you're getting surgery done on you and you can feel it all, or you have a capybara sighting, or you found a getaway car?
Yeah, if you found a capybara or but if you if something serious happened, then keep it to yourself.
Well, I mean, not to yourself.
Well, not to yourself, but don't tell us.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, I'm not giving advice. Okay. This is the end of this podcast. Thank you guys so much. Follow us on all the socials and submit to be our Menty Breaky Queen. Love you guys. Thank you. Goodbye.
Love you.